Good morning, Millennial Morticians. Happy Wednesday morning. It's the 1st of May, and it's so good to be back with you all. I'm excited about today's episode. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I have a lot of good information to jam in a short amount of time. Today's episode is entitled A Changed Mind. A Changed Mind. Write that down. It's important for today's topic because I want to talk about how in the funeral service industry, we tend to cling on to those old traditions, those old sayings, those old doings that we've learned that have been passed down to us. And as our market changes, as our customer dynamics are changing, those words are starting to change too. And for a lot of people, especially in our industry, especially in our marketplace, change is really hard. It's hard to accept, it's hard to identify, and it's even harder to implement. And so I think talking about a changed mind is talking about someone who is renewed, who is thinking about things in a way that they haven't thought about it before. And that's what I want to encourage us to be. My audience, I want you guys to be changed mind thinkers. Um, there's so much value in not only learning from somebody else's experiences, but thinking from somebody else's viewpoint. I say that to say a lot of times we think about things as morticians, as funeral directors, as funeral home owners. We think about our things within confinement to the funeral home as a business aspect, restocking, reordering supplies, being in communication with casket companies, different marketing agencies, things of that nature. But we never seem to indulge ourselves in the business from the consumer's perspective. We always take in our own thinking. And I want to encourage the millennials out there, my audience. Let's be changed mind thinkers. Let's be open to new ideas. Let's be open to new topics. Let's be open to new things. So many funeral homes I find they're serving different families, they're serving different markets. They know the people, but they're not in the minds of the people. And what I mean by that is you have to be in the mind of that individual, not just by ethnicity, religion, background, cultural differences. Really take time out to study your market, your clientele, your consumer, the types of people you're dealing with. That can make such a huge impact on how you deliver funeral service because our industry is so personalized, and a lot of people choose funeral homes based off of those dynamics. You need to be able to tell your mind, okay, I'm thinking in the mind of this type of consumer. Okay, I'm thinking in the mind of this type of consumer. And what you do is, once you get in the mind of that person, then as a professional, you change your products, you change your course of how you're serving your families based off of what the people want and in the minds of those people. And a lot of companies that haven't decided to change in the mind of the people, as you can see, if you've gone to any malls recently in your area, you can see that more people are moving to online shopping, Amazon, things that are quick in an instant and in a hurry. Whereas in 10, 15 years ago, the mall was the place to be. Consumers would go, they would meet there, they would purchase goods, and they would be able to have a great shopping experience until one person with a changed mind went and said, I think I can do this better. I think I can do this differently. I'm a changed mind thinker. And the scariest part about being a changed mind thinker is people aren't as quick to pick up on your thinking. It's slow to adapt. They're slow to adapt to new thinking. And so it's kind of scary at first being that person where it's like, I think I have something great for funeral services, but it's just so different. I don't know if people's minds are going to be open and ready for it. And that's when you come in, the professionals come in because we've learned this, we've studied this, and a lot of us have dedicated our lives to being funeral industry professionals. And so you come in there with that changed mind thinking. You go on the arrangement conference and you're telling your families and you're listening to them and you're explaining why we're doing what we're doing in the process, and you're just simplifying things. And now, as you can see, Amazon was that or happened to be that changed minded thinker. And now they're running retail, they're running the industry, they're closing stores. So I've heard a lot about funeral homes, shutting down, and a lot of the general public thinks that funeral homes, I know it's not just me that always hears this, but people will come up to you and say, you're never going out of business. And I want to, just be honest with them and, with my audience to say, yes, funeral homes do go out of business. Yes, you can go out of business. And yes, it's not hard to go out of business. We are in an industry where it's zero tolerance for mistakes. Any mistake that you make is just bad. You don't want to make any mistakes. You want to get it right. It's not like a wedding day where you can have a slip up or a hiccup, and you're like, okay, we'll do the wedding, again. Funeral is a one-day event. You only have one time to get it right, so you have to get it right the first time and be accurate and efficient in the decisions you're making at the funeral home. And so, since I've been seeing funeral homes shutting down, it's not that the funeral home itself is offering bad products or services. It's that they're not in the mind of the consumer. And then what begins to happen is the new funeral homes that are popping up and sprouting up of the changed mind generation, the changed mind thinkers, those are exploding because people are feeling like they can relate to that funeral home. And you want to be the funeral home that's relatable, that people can understand, that people can connect to, that people feel connected with. You are the community mender. You're the person that people count on a good day, on a bad day, on an iffy day. And so you want to create an environment, you want to have a mindset that is innovative, that's changing, that's evolving. I I always say, yes, I'm getting older. Some of you are probably like, you're so young, but I still think about myself and, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, can I keep evolving? Can I keep changing? And that's why I invite different guests on my podcast, different entrepreneurs, different change-minded thinkers who are opening a respectful and different mind and they're bringing a different attitude, a different energy into funeral services that we need, because you don't want to be that one funeral home that's been doing the same thing, for 150 years. There's nothing wrong with that, because you have a great recipe if you've been open that long. But it's taking what that seed of what was planted there 150 years ago and building on top of it, expanding locations, expanding technology, investing back into the funeral home. There's funeral homes out there that have been around centuries, and they're open-minded funeral homes, and they're growing and they're expanding. And you could walk down the street and you're like, okay, yeah, I know who that is. You can relate to their mindset. And the consumer mindset has changed as far as from, burial to cremation. Cremation is getting so much popular. And at first I was kind of skeptical about it because, I'm really into the funeral directing side of things, the embalming side of things. But then I thought to myself, okay, if cremation gets more popular, they're opening up a whole new realm of open-minded thinkers in the crematory business, from urn design. So even if it's not specifically what you want, it might be what somebody else has been waiting for. And there's people out there, there's people in my audience. I know you guys have some great products, you have some great ideas, and I'm gonna encourage you to share them, message them, post them on LinkedIn, post them on Facebook, post them on YouTube, post your ideas. We're living in the new digital age. Information is so easy to get out, it's so easy to push out, and you never know who's listening or who's watching. You have to be that change in the world. Use your brain, use your mind, use your energy, your thoughts, your experience. That's a big thing in this industry. Use your experience to your advantage, your knowledge to your advantage. And I'm always willing to learn from anybody in this industry because everybody has their own way of doing things, and there's no perfect way in doing it. And so if you're effective in being an open-minded change thinker, your possibilities for success in any part of the industry are truly endless. Well, Millennial Morticians, that's my snippet for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope I empowered you. I hope I changed the way you think about certain things. I hope I gave you energy this week. And I hope that you can go into your funeral home tomorrow, tonight, and say, I'm going to go into there, an open-minded change thinker, and try to change the way we do things. Well, guys, it's great seeing you all again. I look forward to hearing from all of you. And remember, my name is Jaden Folks. This is Millennial Mortician, a